know you all remember Brittany Watts, the Ohio woman who was charged with abuse of a corpse for fleshing her miscarriage sentence. I cannot believe I have to say out loud, but here we are. I am very glad to report, I put this in the newsletter last night, that she is suing. She has filed a lawsuit. What is so incredible about this lawsuit, horrifying but incredible, is that her lawyers are alleging that the two nurses who treated her, one of whom ultimately went on to turn her into police, lying to police, that the two nurses who treated her conspired with a police officer to fabricate evidence in order to bring charges against her. It is totally wild. I really recommend that you read the whole piece. I linked to the complaint if you want to read the complaint. Essentially, what the lawyers are alleging is that these nurses knew that Brittany was 21 weeks pregnant. The fetus was non-viable. She had been to the hospital twice. Because they were a religious institution, they were delaying treatment even though the pregnancy wasn't viable. There was no amniotic fluid left. She had an infection, right? The pregnancy was life-threatening, yet they were still delaying treatment. She was really frustrated. She went home. She miscarried at home. She flushed what she thought were fetal remains. She didn't see a fetus. Essentially, the nurses knew, because they are nurses, that that is not a viable pregnancy. Yet when Brittany went back to be treated for bleeding, hemorrhaging, she was in a medical crisis, they basically lied to the hospital risk management team. They lied to police, saying that there could be a live, viable baby in Brittany's house. They said, and they wrote on medical reports, hence the fabricated evidence, that she said that she had seen and touched a baby, which was not true, her lawyers say, and that once the police officer showed up, that the two nurses, one nurse in particular, basically acted as his colleague, and that a nurse and a police officer like jointly interrogated Brittany while she was in a hospital gown, in a hospital bed, tethered to an IV, waiting to go into surgery. So yeah, just about as horrible as you can imagine. And if you remember this case, you know that local media completely demonized her. They reported this as a crime story. They reported this as, a woman who, tried to shove a newborn down a toilet, like really, really horrible stuff. Her name was absolutely dragged through the mud. It was awful. That's why I'm really glad they're bringing this suit, because we are already seeing other cases like Brittany's. Just last week, I reported on a woman in Texas who is being charged with abuse of a corpse after losing her pregnancy in a public bathroom. This is how criminalization operates. It is, targeting marginalized women. It is targeting women of color, Black women especially. They think that no one is going to fight back. And so a suit like this that tries to hold people accountable is incredibly important.